This war is getting away from Donald Trump. It's not just him who's dictating the terms. Iran has, in the parlance of international relations, Iran has escalation dominance here. They control how high and low this negotiating cycle can go. And the more he drags this out with these, frankly, ridiculous threats and then ridiculous climb downs, the more leverage Iran's going to have.
Welcome. For weeks, Donald Trump has been insisting passage through the strait must be toll-free. Is it even feasible for the US to charge a toll regardless of the amount?
Thanks. If it's feasible, it's going to come at a huge cost in military risk. And as such, I don't think he's particularly serious about this threat. I see it more as a way to escalate to de-escalate, if that makes sense. It's a way to allow the Iranians to come down and for him to come down and then to declare, as he has in previous rounds of, negotiation by force, to declare victory through strength. But I don't actually think this is a serious prospect.
Perhaps the markets don't agree with you. How do you explain the jump in the crude oil price then in the past 24 hours?
So I would explain that by the fact that we are seeing fighting again. It's not a ceasefire any longer. And of course, the US government has issued a notice to Congress under the War Powers Act that it is in a state of conflict with the Islamic Republic of Iran. More than that, we're in this sort of countdown to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve potentially running out in a couple of months. And the longer we keep going through these cycles of hostilities, then truce, then hostilities, then truce, the more that those reserves run out and the fewer barrels exit the Strait of Hormuz.
It has been reported that Iran charged a $2 million toll per vessel at times during this conflict. Have you been able to confirm through your discussions with business and governments whether that toll was successfully levied?
We understand that not many companies have been paying that toll, or at least nobody is admitting to paying that toll. It's obviously 16 times smaller than what Mr. Trump is proposing. And even, this much smaller toll, and even though Iran is right there, proximate to the Gulf, it's not that easy to enforce. So it just shows you how difficult these ideas are. And really we should see them as part of the negotiating theatre, if you will, of this conflict.
So you don't think that the idea of a toll being imposed on the Strait of Hormuz is something that business and governments should be taking too seriously? If it was to become permanent there, for instance, how long would it take before other countries with some control of global shipping lanes might seek to do the same?
If a toll's to be implemented, whether by the United States or by Iran and Oman or a combination thereof, it's got to be with everybody's agreement. And we're nowhere near that point just yet. That's probably months away. Personally, I don't think a toll is likely. I think this is more about leverage and negotiating tactics before the real discussion on nuclear enriched uranium is broached between the two parties. So I'm not taking the toll threats all that seriously.
You do say that we are likely to see another Trump taco. That is another back down, as we have seen from the US president time and time again. But since his post on Truth Social in the early hours of the Australian morning, we have seen Iran mock the US president. How much control does Donald Trump have to de-escalate if he wants to pursue that course of action?
Well, this is the real risk, and this is why I think oil prices are right to be a little bit higher, because, this war is getting away from Donald Trump. It's not just him who's dictating the terms. Iran has, in the parlance of international relations, Iran has escalation dominance here. They control how high and low this negotiating cycle can go. And the more he drags this out with these, frankly, ridiculous threats and then ridiculous climb downs, the more leverage Iran's going to have, because the US is going to slowly but surely run out of its strategic oil reserves.
Michael Feller, good to speak to you.
Thank you.